Good morning, everyone, and welcome. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to join us this morning. My name is Amanda Miller-Lau, and I'm an account manager here at Unity, and I specialize in senior living. First, I'd like to review some housekeeping with you. We have a live question and answer at the end of the presentation. Please put your questions into the chat, and we will answer the questions at that time. Also, this session is being recorded, and we will send you a copy of the presentation to you. Jack, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thanks, Amanda. My name is Jack Speranza. I am the program manager for senior living at Unity Connected Solutions. I oversee all the projects here and the service for all the senior living communities across Canada. And we have a special guest here today, Chris Prada.
Hi, Jack. Thanks for inviting me. I'm Chris Prada. I am Status Solutions Channel Manager for the Canadian market. I've been with Status since 2012 and come with over 25 years of experience in the technology industry. Since joining Status Solutions, our platform has become the #1 solution for wireless emergency call notification solutions.
So we're going to start today and briefly talk about Unity. Unity is a privately owned national company. Our head office and call center is located in Newmarket, Ontario. We have a branch office in Burlington, which serves our Southwestern Ontario customers, and across the country in Montreal, Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver. We also have some U.S. presence in Phoenix, Arizona. Unity has been in business since 2004. We started as Unity Telecom, and we have evolved over the years and became Unity Connected Solutions in 2014, as all technologies have kind of come together. Unity prides itself on excellent customer service, and our call center is open 24/7, 365 days a year, which is good to know. If there's a problem, Unity can always be reached. Jack, would you like to talk about your senior living team?
Thanks, Amanda. So 8 years ago, Unity created a senior living division, and we take care of everything from e-call systems, telephony, data networking, security, door access, and cameras, SD-WAN, and cabling. And it's a dedicated team. So our team has their own sales, solution engineer design, project management, support, and we have a Mac desk for all your service needs.
Thank you, Jack. And Chris, can you tell us a little about Status Solutions?
Sure. So as I mentioned, Status Solutions entered the Canadian market about 11 years ago. Since entering the Canadian market, I've mentioned we've become a major provider of these solutions from coast to coast, with every major senior living operator leveraging our technology. What's unique about Status is that we look at the senior living space from a holistic perspective, not just looking at emergency call notification, but looking at residents and resident engagement, looking at staff and how we can do things better and more efficiently. It is a platform that ties together all of the components of the senior living space and integrating all various systems so they operate as a single unique entity. As I said, Status was founded in 2001, and we are across Canada and the United States.
So today we're very excited to talk to you about the Status Solutions resident engagement called CATIE. And Chris, maybe you can talk to us a little bit about CATIE, and then we're going to go into a live demo today.
Sure. Thanks again. So CATIE is our resident engagement module. We're very passionate about improving the lives of seniors. This is a platform that we launched about 9 years ago, but we have advanced the developments on it and actually accelerated certain developments when we saw the results of what was happening within COVID, because nothing pushed residents into loneliness and isolation in the last pandemic. So CATIE is a suite of products that is, as I said, about engaging your residents, helping them be more connected to their family and their loved ones, the community at large. It is a communication platform to share information with the residents and to get feedback. There are 4 components to CATIE, and we're going to talk about each of them briefly and give a full demonstration on the CATIE web version. So CATIE comes as CATIE TV, which is a dedicated television channel that your residents can flip to on their TVs, can see news and information and activities. You can share photographs and promote special events and occasions. You can even push live events directly through to the residents' televisions. We have homes using this platform during COVID to do things like streaming live church services and virtual bingo games and things to keep the residents engaged and connected. Next, we have CATIE Radio, probably our simplest solution, but really our most impactful. What Status did is we recognized that radio has left seniors behind. Advertisers are not interested in this group, and therefore all of the programming and content really doesn't fit what residents are looking for. So Status launched its own radio station with live announcers and DJs that provide companionship, that talk to residents about what's important to them, and playing for them the music of their lives, the music they grew up to, the music they fell in love with, that they raised their families with. And this is a really simple tool to connect with through any smart device. You simply click on CATIE Radio and they're able to listen to radio in the comfort of their own home, or you can even have it piped throughout the facility. As I said, a dedicated radio station developed by Status Solutions. Then there's the CATIE Web. This is an interactive tool, and this is what we're going to be demonstrating in great detail. So with that, I'm going to jump into this. The 4th piece is basically the same as CATIE Web. It simply is an app on an iPhone. So we're going to concentrate on CATIE Web for the purposes of this demonstration. So Amanda, should I just go ahead and share my screen and jump right in?
That sounds like a great idea, Chris. Thank you.
Okay, great. So here we go. So you should be seeing my screen at this time. I'm on a simple browser. CATIE can be accessed from any device that has access to the internet. So smartphones and tablets and PCs, even smart TVs. I have a television here at my home where I'm using a simple Android box, and I'm also accessing CATIE Web. So the residents simply will click on an icon we will create for them, CATIE, and that would launch them directly into the resident engagement module. So let me just touch on what you're seeing, and then we'll get into the details. So the title bar, this is an area that you will customize. You will put your own logos in here. You will have this customized to display where you're located, time and date, such and such. Shows who's logged in. In this blank space, there's an ability to include a check-in feature so that when the resident opens the application in the morning, they can click on the check-in feature and the system will produce a report letting you know which residents are up and active and who you might need to go check on. In this area is a carousel. The carousel, you can place as many slides as you like. And this you can display things like information and activities, photographs of residents, special events going on. And as I said earlier, you're even able to stream live events like church services and virtual games and things of that nature. You can pre-schedule these slots. You can set what time and date and so on. And the system will automatically change these slides for you based on the schedule that you have pre-built. In this area is basically a dashboard where I can see everything that's going on. So in the community right now, the mail has not arrived at the front desk. Related to COVID, we're in isolation mode and the dining room is closed. You can customize this if you had a spa services, a hair shop, whatever events that you want to inform your residents about can all be displayed here, and live updates can be presented to the residents. The bulletin board shows you any events that have come in. Surveys, newsletters, invitations to video chats, new videos that have been launched, requests for services, anything that you want to communicate will pop up in the bulletin board. The video gallery. This platform is about entertainment and keeping people engaged. And I have some homes posting some very interesting videos, videos that are happening within their home when they're doing virtual services. Just funny videos and informative videos could be all logged on to this platform. And then down this side of the screen is the full menu. One of the wonderful things with CATIE is how customizable it is. This can be customized all the way down to a specific resident. So each resident, we can customize what is presented to them. Each family member can be given different access. So it is a platform not only for residents, but the extended family, even your staff, can access information through CATIE. Let's take a quick dive into some of the functionality and how this makes a difference in the residents' lives. And quite frankly, also how it will save your staff so much time. I've had homes that during COVID have told me they have no idea how they would have made it through without a tool like this. So here's what it can do. Obviously, everybody wants to know the weather. At the click of a button, a full detailed forecast can be provided. If you didn't want that feature, it could be shut off. Messages. To help residents, any events that come in are going to show up in multiple places in the screen, so it doesn't matter where they access it. So for example, you send out a survey. That survey is going to pop up here. It's going to say you have one event. It'll pop up in the bulletin board saying you have a survey. It will pop up here in your messages showing that there is an event. If you had a survey tab, it'll pop up in that. So there's multiple places where any event is presented to the resident. I'm going to come back to video calls and CATIE radio in a moment, because I think those need a few minutes separate. Let's look at things like dining. This was a big challenge for a lot of homes. During the lockdown, how do you gather all the information of what people wanted, what time they were eating, and so on? CATIE can automate that process. The dining can be as simple or as sophisticated as you would like it to be displayed. Some homes display simply a PDF menu right here. So as you select the day, different menus would show up. Or it can be as sophisticated as what I'm going to demonstrate here. I want to select my meal for today. This particular home has several restaurants. I'm going to select this one. What type of meal am I selecting for dinner? It will allow me to say, where am I going to eat? What time of day do I want it delivered? And that I want it delivered to me. I can then go on, select the meal I want, which soup, which entree, and you'll notice as I select these items, it's actually building my order right here. So I want in room at 7:30 with turkey vegetable soup and the beef tips. And I can go on and order dessert and so on, or simply place the order. If you wanted to, CATIE can even price this out if you charge for some of these services. Once I place an order, the system will automatically email the kitchen with each resident's order as they place them. Similar for events calendar, your event coordinator, your life enrichment team can build their calendar in advance. These are all things that your staff are already doing. This simply provides a tool, a common tool that everyone can use to build menus and event calendars and requests for services and automate the monitoring, the updates related. So for example, I've gone into the event calendar for today. I want to sign up for the karaoke. And I say add it to my calendar. I am now signed up. If that space was fully booked, CATIE has the capability of offering people to waitlist. It will manage that for you and then send the full report to Life Enrichment so they have a single place to see who's coming, etc. As well, the resident can look at their own personal calendar to see what they've signed up for. Request services, another powerful feature, residents able to ask for services. Again, in the pandemic and in the lockdown, I need something done rather than the front desk getting hundreds of calls a day. I need a light bulb changed. I can click on this, say I need maintenance. It's whatever, replace a light bulb, and I submit that. Once I've done that, an email is sent to your maintenance person. He knows who requested it, when they requested it, and what they want done. And you can customize all the different categories for housekeeping and maintenance and personal care. I have one long-term care facility where the residents are not using CATIE, but the staff uses CATIE. So when the staff is doing their rounds, visiting residents, if they need a resident to have some personal care, they will open CATIE on their smartphone for the resident, click personal care, select the type of care that this resident needs and submit it. Now, that alert is sent to who's responsible, knowing that this individual needs a pedicure and what time it was requested. And as I said, this is fully customizable for whatever you want, whatever services you provide. I really like the community directory. Simple, but when I join a retirement facility in the future, one of the reasons we do it is because of the community. I meet people and I want to find out more about them. I can go to the community directory. If the resident chooses to share a photograph of themselves and share their interests, I'm able to go in here and learn more about other residents or simply search for residents. I'll just back out here. I could search for residents based on interests. So I want to find other people that share interest in crocheting or backgammon or bird watching. I can create a community of friends to get engaged with. Any resident that I might have met, I want to add them to my personal contacts. I can click add, and that resident is now added to, sorry, we don't have a personal directory here. This one had been customized. But if it wasn't, I would have one pop up that says personal directory. When I click on that, I'd be able to, narrow down the list of residents that I want to engage. Here's the staff directory. Being able to see who's the staff, which staff members I like to engage with. All of that is available. There's no limit to capabilities that can be embedded here. I need services in the community. We have green pages, games and entertainment, video galleries. Homes that are using CATIE use this as the single point of contact for everything. So family members are able to use this for visitation. So during COVID, when a family member logged in, they would go to not the events calendar, but a visitation calendar. They were allowed to look at the calendar, select the time and date, select that. CATIE would tell them if there was space available and allow them to wait list or select another time frame. But the key point is, this is not all that CATIE can do, but gives you a good overview of the functionality to help residents be more active and engaged, and be able to connect with what's going on in the community. An interesting aside is all of these selections I'm making and the activity I'm engaging is all being tracked so that your staff can then review which residents are being active and being engaged. And if you're seeing certain people not being engaged, maybe they are suffering from loneliness or isolation, and you can get involved and give those people a little extra attention. So as I mentioned, I want to come back now to the video calling and the CATIE radio. We talked about CATIE radio earlier. I just want to show you how simple it is to access. You simply click CATIE radio and it launches the radio station. The radio station is now live. And as soon as I tap this button, it will start playing. Through this conference, I'm not able to share the radio station, but I will pass along a sample video that Amanda will share following this presentation. Now, video calling. One of the most powerful things we can do is connect with friends, family, and loved ones. Video call is the ability for residents to speak live, two-way voice and video with as many as their family that they would like to at any time of day. It is a senior-friendly equivalent to something like Zoom or Skype. There are no additional software to download. You don't have to sign up for any services. You don't need a subscription. There's no limits to how many friends and families are involved on a single call. We use this tool in our own company to do a company meeting recently with over 70 people engaged in the call simultaneously. To launch, it's quite simple. You click on video call, so at any time of the day or night, the resident wants to see their loved one, they can go to their own device, click on video call, and it launches a video call for them. Now, this password, I had it inserted here to talk about the fact that this platform will be telemedicine. We'll be launching telemedicine through this platform very recently. There's certain rules and encryptions required that we are now getting certification for. Point being, this single platform will also be able to be used for telemedicine. I'm not doing that right now, so I'm going to say no. And the call launches. So here I am right away in the call. Right now I'm doing a presentation, so it's actually trying to use two tools at the same time. To invite a resident, I simply click invite resident. I can look up the residents that I want to have join me and say invite. That's it. So I'm going to back out momentarily. When I launched an invitation to another resident, the other resident in their apartment, they will see a number pop up here. In their bulletin board, they will see the invitation. And on video call, this would light up. And all the resident does is click on any of these places, and they would immediately join that video call that I just did. So that really concludes the big picture that I wanted to share with you. The resident module, helping seniors be connected. Creating that single platform where you can share information and gather information. It is a very powerful tool, and it really has been a game changer. It's changed the resident experience for so many facilities that we have launched during COVID. Amanda, I said, will share this and we'll help you understand how you can get involved if you would like to have CATIE for your community. So with that, Amanda, I'll pass it back to you. And okay, there you go.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you going through that. And maybe you can talk a little bit about how the CATIE gets set up, the CATIE web gets set up, and what the cost would be for a community.
Okay, sure. So CATIE is very simple to set up. It is all done remotely, so no one ever has to come on site. We launch, and I'm going to just share my screen again momentarily. The URL is a dedicated server that we will set up for each community. So if your community is, I don't know, Toronto retirement resident, we would launch a URL that said Toronto retirement resident, mycatie.com. This is a dedicated server to you. It's done remotely. We would then request the information and we will preload everything for you. Then we will train your staff on how they can make changes. So getting it off the ground, we do all of the heavy lifting, get it set up, get it working, your residents are able to use it. And then we train your staff how to update menus and activities and calendars. During the COVID pandemic, we are offering this package at no cost. So we've been turning this on for retirement homes across the country because we are so passionate about the difference that this has made to facilities. Beyond the pandemic, so looking into 2022, the cost for this platform is basically the cost for the support, which is at $3,000 annually. And that includes unlimited training and support and all software updates, 24/7, 365 technical support, and all of the services in that one cost of $3,000 annually. Amanda, anything else that I may not have answered?
No, I think it's a powerful tool, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody understood, you know, what costs are involved, as it's very reasonable, right? So, Status Solutions certainly provides a lot of training for communities that will benefit from this, for sure.
And I think I need to make it clear that that cost is for all 3 levels of the platform, so that in your home, your residents will have CATIE radio, have that music of their lives, have engaged conversation, have companionship, have the television channel to see what's going on, simply flipping on the TV to see what's happening, and then the interactive tool for the family, for their loved ones, and for the residents themselves to be interactive through the platform with video calling. And that's all of that included in that one fee.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. We're at our question and answer time now, and if you have a question, if you could put it in the chat, that would be fantastic. And we'll just wait a few minutes to see if there's any questions. Okay, we don't have any questions at this time. I'll just wait another minute here and see. Okay, you had said something about resident check-in as part of the CATIE. Can you explain that a little bit more, please?
Sure. As the community deploys this platform and residents start going into the platform on a regular basis to, you know, order their meals, sign up for events, it becomes part of their day. Well, by entering it, you have the ability to check in. So in other words, to use this tool to identify which residents are up and active. So I go into the platform and I click check-in. then the system is going to send a report to whoever you decide saying, here's the list of who has not checked in. So those residents that normally would get up and order their meals and sign up for activities, if they didn't get up that morning and click check-in, you're going to get a report so that you'll be able to go up to that resident's suite and just make sure everything is okay. Maybe it is just that they woke up late or they're lonely and just not feeling like getting active. But this check-in feature allows you to be proactive and make sure that everyone is doing okay.
Which is a great feature in itself.
Absolutely. I have one retirement home that prior to CATIE, they were calling every single resident every morning. They had a team of people that spent their morning calling every resident just to be sure everybody was up and okay. Other people are using it through their nurse call platform. They have a check-in feature. This is just a much more natural, less institutional approach. You know, make it feel more like home. I'm just saying I'm okay. Just like your son or daughter goes on a long trip, you want them to call in at the end of the day to say they're okay. Well, this becomes that type of thing. I get up in the morning, I check in, I do my activities, and if that day I did not check in, I know someone that cares about me is going to come and check on me. So I think it's simple but very powerful.
It is very powerful. We have another question here. Thank you. How could we set up a visitation calendar that is keeping our HIPAA policies and procedures intact, but still enable access for families to sign up for courtyard or window visits as we're still under visitation restrictions?
Right. So now you're getting into a lot of detail. The best way I can answer this is understand that the platform is completely customizable. So I have some facilities where they use this platform or use portions of the platform just for visitation. So inside CATIE, you can build in the survey, so your COVID survey and questionnaire that has to be answered. So they must answer this before they go into the visitation calendar. Then the visitation calendar is set up, you know, based on the rules that you have. Now, once you get to the facility, we have other tools, and this we're going to talk about in future webinars, where CATIE can leverage things like video analytics and facial recognition to identify who is allowed to be in, who has answered the questions, whose temperature is within alignment. But those are other tools we have. This platform is really more about just managing it, giving you an electronic record of who's coming, surveys are filled out, appropriate times are being booked, etc. I hope I answered your question. If there's more detail, please ask.
Thank you, Chris. We'll just give it another minute here to see if we have any other questions coming in, or to see if we got a response to that particular question and make sure it was answered okay. And if there is any other questions and after this presentation, please reach out to us. You will get a copy of this, but please reach out to us. And we can certainly answer more questions at that time. Yes, that did answer her question. Thanks, Chris.
Great.
So we'll conclude this session then for today. Thank you so much, Chris, for taking the time today to review the CATIE with us. I hope that everyone found that this resident engagement works really well and is powerful in communities. We'd like to thank the audience for joining our session today. We have one more in our webinar series. It's on March 23rd, when we will review physical security needs for the communities, and we'll focus on wander management, security doors, and cameras. So hope that you can join Jack and I for that. As I mentioned, we'll send you a copy of this presentation and you'll receive it in your email. And again, if you have any questions or would like more information about the CATIE or anything that we've presented in this series, please reach out. We thank you very much again for joining, and we hope to see you on March 23rd.